Hi, I'm Dana Obleman, creator of the Sleep Sense program. This week's question comes from Sueli, and she asks, my 12-month-old wakes up every night and will not go back to sleep unless I bring her to my bed. How do I break this habit that's beginning? Well, Sueli, I want you to first have a look at how Leela falls asleep at bedtime. That's really where 99% of the problem falls, is how do children fall asleep at bedtime? First of all, you want to make sure that there's a really clear and consistent bedtime routine, moving in a step-by-step order, the same every night, so that basically what that becomes is a cue that it's time for bed. And then you want to make sure that your 12-month-old has the skills for sleeping well on their own. So you definitely shouldn't do things like rocking or bottle feeding to sleep or nursing to sleep. So once the routine is complete, you should put her into her crib awake. Now, in the Sleep Sense program, there's a guideline for staying in the room if that's your choice. If that's what you feel the best about, then you should do that. Stay in the room and be supportive. Just be careful, though, that there's nothing you're doing that's actually putting her to sleep. If you're patting her back until she falls asleep, you might find that you've now incorporated yourself into her strategy, so you're going to have to go in there and pat her back again every time she wakes in the night. So the skill of sleeping is absolutely hers and hers alone. And once she starts putting those pieces together and figuring out a way to do this on her own, then she'll be much less likely to start to rely on you to do it for her. So that's the first place to start, is bedtime. And then when she wakes in the night, especially around the time when you would normally bring her into your bed, if that's not where you want her to be, then you definitely have to stop doing that. So again, I will go in, sit with her, be calm and supportive, but again, let her fall asleep on her own. Don't bring her to your bed at any time. What a lot of moms will sometimes do is say, well, at 5 in the morning I'll bring my baby to bed with me and they can sleep the last couple of hours. But you know what you're doing, but your baby doesn't. So what I find tends to happen in those situations is that 5 o'clock becomes 4:30, becomes 4, becomes 3:30, and it just starts pushing earlier and earlier until that baby's in your bed half the night again. Also, if that's what your baby prefers, then you're probably going to find that it's hard to get them to go to sleep initially because they'd rather be in your bed. So even sleeping with a parent can become a prop in a way that if that's the only way this baby becomes used to falling asleep and staying asleep is if you're laying right beside them, then really they're not doing it independently. They're still relying on you in some way. So it'll definitely be work, and it's going to take a week or two to kind of get her on track with going to sleep on her own and sleeping through the night in her own crib. But if you don't want her in your bed, it's best to do it now, because it does tend to get a little harder as a child gets older, just because they just become they have more expectations about what you're going to do. So it's a great time to make the switch, and those are the best ways to do it. So thanks for your question. Sleep well.